Will we be taking off immediately, or are there other matters that require your attention?
Space. Maintain course and prepare to be scanned. Scan complete. You're cleared to land. Commercial activities are sanctioned in this area.
And your scan shows...
Quite enjoy New Atlantis, but this is much better.
No more Starborn have shown up.
I thought maybe I would come up with something to say, but I've got nothing. So instead, I thought I would quote something that gave me comfort a long time ago. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine? Existence itself is a mystery which yearns to be uncovered. What is goodness but a comparison to the good? What is existence but a participation in being? For where the diversity of the universe inspires awe and wonder, it exists only in contrast to a simplicity so pure that it may only be understood as primordial and even divine. Our essence is what was imagined by its mind, but what we consider imagining and what we consider mind are in fact so far beyond our understanding that even these metaphors are like the tiny white caps on a massive searching sea. There's more, but those are the parts that speak to me the most. Thank you.
That was really thoughtful, Mateo. Thank you. Does anyone else want to say anything? Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
I don't often speak about what I believe in. It seems so redundant with how I live. But death is one of those occasions where it's hard not to look inward. Our friend... There's no afterlife, no second meetings, no God in heaven that is curating a perfect ending. So it's up to us. We are what lives on. If the pain of loss inspires us to greater action, then that is the good that comes from it. Humanity is what truly creates our world. We are the ones that judge things to be good or evil, joyful or mournful. Let us take responsibility for it. Let us remember what we have lost.
Walter, are you part of the House of Enlightenment? I never knew that.
Yes, well, I like to keep some things private.
You all might not like thinking about this, but when we die, everything about us breaks down, decomposes, gets eaten up by insects and microbes. Or due to the lack of a biosphere, we are simply carried away by space and time until we sizzle in a distant sun's corona or get pulled in some gravitational field and coalesce with other debris. Not comforting, huh? But I disagree. Do you know what I find uncomfortable? The thought that after I die, the universe is just going to stand still forever. Could you imagine? The fact is that the universe goes on, that life goes on, that things do not just sit still. That right there is the comfort that I need. Yeah, we die, and some people go way before they should. But the universe doesn't care. Not because it's evil, but because it's infinite, ever expanding. And who wouldn't want to be a part of infinity, even if it's just for a short while? Listen, we don't worry about ourselves before we were born, do we? Of course not. We emerge from the universe as we return to it. And for one beautiful moment, we are here together.
Yes, that certainly was an interesting perspective, Barrett.
Everyone is in mourning. I understand, but I cannot quite share in their emotion. I have seen death. I have lost people I considered close. But this is... it is not the same. I cannot explain why. I am not sure I am making sense. Thank you. If you are free soon, could we talk? This is harder than I expected. I am sorry. My head is swimming.
Ah, yes. I remember you. The wedding. I was so happy for both of you. I wish the circumstances of my visit were better. Unfortunately, this isn't the first Constellation funeral I've been to. After 35 years, you say goodbye to a lot of friends. I hope you don't mind me saying, but I feel numb just thinking about it. Sarah meant the world to me. She was the future. I knew it as soon as I met her. Exactly the same as when you met her, I bet. Determined. Fearless. With just a small hint of delight on her face when she knew she was winning, eh? My only problem as a mentor was trying to convince her to be more tactful. Those old military instincts would always get her in trouble. Yes. She could make me so angry, or so happy. We used to joke that we were married. I bet relationships in Constellation are still messy, aren't they? We're more of a family than an organization. All the former lines bleed together. It makes the losses sting harder. But I hope it means the time you had together was all the more important. That's how I like to think of it anyway. Oh yes, I was Sebastian Banks's protege, if that gives you any idea of how long I was part of our little club. Knew him, argued with him, tried to carry on his memory when he vanished. Sebastian will be back tomorrow, we always used to say. It reminded us that he was still here, in the bones of this old building.
I hope this is all okay. Between fixing things up and sending out messengers and getting all the paperwork done. It's not much. Good. Good. Sorry, if I talk any longer, I'm gonna start crying. Could you excuse me?
You know, what you're feeling right now is a chemical reaction whose evolutionary goal is promoting social cohesion. Never seems to work for me. No matter how many times I do this, I feel less attached, not more. Well, look at us. Two lone wolves howling at the moon on the same night. You know, if there's one piece of advice I can actually give you, it's that lost loved ones have a way of coming back to you. One day you'll be sweeping out some old shelf or digging through a desk, and there it'll be. Some old paperweight of theirs, or a piece of jewelry they gave you, half jokingly. Theoretically, of course. You're welcome.
Chat for a bit? Normally, I hate talking to people at
Take a
funerals.
break.
But
Let's chat.
you don't believe in the afterlife, do you? I mean, this might be the worst time to bring it up, but... It's comforting, isn't it? You haven't really lost someone. You're just waiting to see them again. And you don't even need proof. You just need to believe it. Well, I've taken up enough of your time.
It almost feels wrong to be grieving. Selfish. No amount of tears will bring the dead back. It's just easier to feel guilty, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, hi. I guess. It's just that I feel so alone. With Sarah, it was like starting a family again. The way she'd smile at me reminded me of my mom. I missed that so much. Now she's gone, and I have to start over, like I did before. It's not the same. Sarah was starting to feel like, well, like she was my new mom. I really don't want to go through this again. It's too hard. I can't believe Sarah's gone. It's not fair. Really? You mean it? I would love for that to be true. Hey, thanks for talking to me. I'm actually feeling a little better knowing that you care how I feel. Maybe I'm not so alone after all.
Let's hope this is the last one of these I need to attend. Don't drown too much in all this despair. Life moves on. We're the ones who end up standing still.
I am told these types of gatherings are a sad occasion. That assumption appears to be correct. No, I don't. I'm programmed to analyze sensory and biometric data so I can cross-reference. But I do not feel as you seem to imply. I appreciate you verifying my analysis, although I am certain my thanks will do little to improve your current psychological trauma. If you would like, though, I can add some consoling language to my programming. It will take some time to adapt, but it will be okay. How was that? I will note that feedback for later.
Hi. No. And don't keep asking. I'm not gonna be, alright? Everything's worse now. So many people here. So many people saying goodbye. Ugh, it doesn't change anything. Everything's worse. Nothing's going to make that better. I just feel like I want to be a million light years away from everyone. I want to be alone for a while, okay?
Is it quieter in the lodge, or is it just me? Death is a bastard. Comes for us all. You know, there's an old Aquila story about two pioneers who got lost trying to find a new frontier to settle. One of them takes ill. Clear he's not gonna make it, he turns to his partner and says, "Don't bury me. Let the ground take what it's due. I'd rather be a ghost chasing after you than walk through the pearly gates knowing an eternity of loneliness until you get there." Sad story, huh? You look after yourself. You got time for a quick chat? I'd appreciate it when you're able.
Drink? Pour one out to the blackest sea? Two old friends. May their ghosts go past the edges of space, to the great beyond. Aye.
Lodge sure feels like a lonelier place.
Don't have any up. Advice to add at the moment. Don't have any other advice to add at the moment.
I am reminded of how different Constellation works compared to what I am used to.
Got a lot of sad tales I'm running through my head right now. Hate to bore you.
I am reminded of how different Constellation works
Good talking to you.
compared to what I'm...
Talk and get paid. I spread the news. You have another story for me? Really? To say you have my undivided attention is an understatement. A lot of people were there. The accounts we've got were chaotic. What was your role in that? Sounds like maybe you're being modest. Security isn't exactly trained for that scenario. But all right. The whole city is still on edge over the attack. We were fortunate, damn fortunate, that casualties were so low. What was it like in the thick of things? That makes what you did even more, well, amazing. It sounds like New Atlantis, heck, the whole UC, owes you a great debt. Any closing comments? I already have a good story here. That makes me feel better. I feel like such a sap, but it does. Hey, Constellation? From all of us that live here, thanks. We use the word hero a lot in news. But you really are one. When you first walked into my office, I had no idea you would be at the center of so much. And I get the feeling you're not sharing everything. I might surprise you, but I understand. I talked with the editor, and he authorized a special bonus for someone who's worked with us so long. And maybe one day, years from now, you can fill me in on the stories you didn't want broadcast. Take care, Constellation.
Nice to meet you.
Sergeant Yui was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work. This space is a memorial to those lost during the Colony War. Your consideration is requested.
I'm always ready to make a deal. Never a better time than right now to settle down and make New Atlantis home. If you're a citizen, of course. Well, first of all, let me just say congratulations on becoming a United Colony citizen. Let's see what we have available. Right now, I've got a little place in the well that's up for grabs. Needs some work, and the location is less than ideal, but it's a foot in the door, so to speak. I have a penthouse apartment in one of the residential towers. I forgot. Government has dibs on that one. Well, if it comes back on the market, I'll let you know. Sound like something you're interested in? I'm always here if you're looking for a new... It's a buyer's market right now. Oh, don't I wish. Between UC But you best believe I'm keeping an eye on this. Let's see what we have available. Right now, I've got a little place in the well that's up for grabs. Needs some work, and the location is less than ideal, but it's a foot in the door, so to speak. I have a penthouse apartment in one of the residential towers. I forgot. Government has... Sound like something you're interested in? No pressure here. You come see me if you change your mind. Enjoy your time in New Atlantis.
If it isn't my favorite, crime has slowed down since you started helping out, which is good for morale. Yep. Something just came in. Scuffle over at the Dawn's Roost. Security on site handled it, but now one of them is saying the other guy stole his wedding ring. Problem is, he left without identifying the perp, so I need you to talk to Royce Elgin at the Dawn's Roost. See if you can fill in the gaps. Men like him aren't very generous with their time. They want you to solve a case without ever having to lift a finger themselves. Not that he'd be much of a witness, given that he was still half drunk when he got here, and somehow even more so when he left. Sorry, wrong word. Rich people don't get drunk, they get inebriated. Which is another way of saying highly unreliable. Thank you, Captain. Always appreciate it when you lend a hand. Let me know when the matter's resolved. According to the patron, the ring is valuable, but if I had to guess, not for sentimental reasons. Normally, when someone loses a valuable keepsake, they're heartbroken. The way this guy was acting, it's almost as if he lost a wallet full of creds. The restaurant over in the residential district caters to a very fancy clientele. It's the kind of place where forks come in different sizes, depending on the food. The whole department is in the process of recovering, myself included. If I'm being honest, I still have nightmares of my team turning on one another. Things can be replaced and wounds can be healed, but building back that trust in each other is going to take time. Luckily, we've built a good culture here, and we hired some new recruits who were inspired by what you did. I've got faith we'll survive this. See you later.
All of our signature dishes are unique to the Roost. You won't find anything like them anywhere else.
A most unfortunate incident, complicated by the fact that both parties were inebriated. While I wasn't privy to the entire argument, Hugo and Octavio had been dining here together for quite some time. So, it was surprising to see them at each other's throats. I wasn't witness to any theft, and both men were wearing rings, if I recall correctly. Oh, yes, quite often. They had a usual table over in the far corner, with all the traditional accoutrements. Music, candles, wine. You see where I'm going with this. But this time the two had barely sat down before the argument got heated. Thankfully, security stepped in before anyone got hurt. Well, the one who stayed with UC Security, Octavio, is a shorter man, handsome and refined. His favorite menu item is the Saint, I believe. The other, Hugo Fournier, is a tall, slender gentleman with a French accent. Excellent tipper, well-mannered, but a bit hot-tempered. I assume that would be the slender gentleman, Hugo Fournier. He was the one who excused himself after UC security arrived. I believe he lives in Athena Tower, although he may be checking out soon. But I would start there. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Private sector. Well, that's where the real money's at.
Yes, what? Oh, I can't believe that Octavio. That liar, that manipulator, that... Yes, the man who... Wait, what? He's accusing me of theft? The nerve of that Lothario! 5 years we were together, half a decade! And he threw it all away for that waiter! It was supposed to be a romantic dinner, our last before we pledged our lives to each other. But an hour before, I decided to do some cleaning to calm my nerves. I picked up a pair of pants he left on the floor, and out falls a napkin from the Dawn's Roost with a number written on the back. To think he had the audacity to schedule a date with me at the same restaurant? I was livid! Still, I went to the date and held it together just long enough for the waiter to serve us, then I went off! Not just dating, betrothed. And I have the engagement ring to prove it. No, there are some things in life that cannot be repaired. Cheating is his way of saying, I don't love you. And without love, what's the point? He would say that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's my property. He gifted it to me when he proposed. It's not his to return. I don't care. I'm not giving it to you. I think my lawyer would disagree. Either way, if Octavio wants to take me to court, then so be it. I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to pawn it off. If you try to take it by force, I will sue UC Security. I have a very good lawyer for this sort of thing. I don't care if you're with UC Security. I have rights. And as far as the ring goes, I don't know what the law says, but I doubt you do either. As soon as my assistant finishes packing. He would say that, but he gifted it. All right, but I'm leaving this city as soon as I can calm myself down. I'm furious. He would say that. He gifted it to me. We're not having this argument again. I took a pair. He would say that. He gifted it. I'm glad you could see reason. This ring is going to fund a very long vacation across the settled systems. Maybe I'll even take pictures.
So after an hour of whining, they're finally out here.
They're just sitting on the grass. They should be playing.
All of our signature dishes are unique to the Roost.
Most unfortunate. Well, I wasn't so it was. I assume that would be the slender gentleman, Hugo Fournier. He was the one who excused himself after UC security arrived. I believe he lives in Athena Tower, although he may be checking out soon. But I would start there.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
I have mixed feelings about it, but sales are up significantly since what happened at the spaceport. People want to feel safe. Welcome to Centurion Arsenal. It is my absolute pleasure to assist you with any purchases or questions you may have. All sales are final, but that won't matter because you will undoubtedly be pleased with your purchase. You have my word. Is that a surprise? These are potentially matters of life and death we're talking about here. Well, that's not a simple question, is it? It all depends on who's asking. I have my own personal favorites, but I wouldn't presume to know yours. Tell me, were you to find yourself in the unfortunate position of needing to use a weapon, what suits you best? Something up close and personal? Rapid fire? Is precision a consideration? Ah, yes. Well, if efficiency is a priority, then you really can't go wrong with Allied armaments. They've been supplying the UC for years, and for good reason. Please, take a look.
Pardon. Oh, I can't believe that Octavio. That liar, that manipulator, that lying, cheating, foul piece of Dawn Glider dropping. If I had my way, I'd tie him to the back of a ship and jump it right into the nearest star. 5 years we were together, half a decade! And he threw it all away for that waiter. Not just dating, betrothed. And I have the engagement ring to prove it. No, there are some things in life that cannot be repaired. Cheating is his way of saying, I don't love you. And without love, what's the point? It was supposed to be a romantic dinner, our last before we pledged our lives to each other. But an hour before, I decided to do some cleaning to calm my nerves. I picked up a pair of pants he left on the floor, and out falls a napkin from the Dawn's Roost with a number written on the back. To think he had the audacity to schedule a date with me at the same restaurant? I was livid! Still, I went to the date and held it together just long enough for the waiter to serve us, then I went off! He would say that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's my property. He gifted it to me when he proposed. It's not his to return. I don't care. I'm not giving it to you. Ugh. Even I'm not that stubborn. Ugh. Fine. I may be extremely agitated, but I want no part of a UC prison. Here. As soon as my assistant finishes packing my things, I'm taking the first tram to the spaceport.
You know I went to chef school.
Ah, crime has slowed down since you... Ah, perfect. Did you manage to get the ring back? Excellent. I'm sure the victim will be pleased to know their property has been returned. You acquitted yourself well again. I dare say you might have a knack for police work. Hardly surprising for a captain of the UC Vanguard, but still, impressive nonetheless. Here, take this. It's well deserved. After that business with the Terramorph, it's good to get back to small crimes and petty thieves. How can I help you, Captain? I'm starting to run out of credits to give you. Whoever said crime doesn't pay. Captain. I do. Thanks to you, the spaceport is up and running again, which is good for commerce, but also for smugglers. We've received a tip that someone has been bringing in contraband into New Atlantis through the spaceport, and we need to investigate. Well, technology-wise, criminals have always been one step ahead. No different now than it was centuries ago. Smugglers often have fancy shielding or scan jammers that allow them to evade the checks. But luckily, we can still use old-fashioned detective work to track these criminals down. Great. First, speak to one of the technicians over by landing pad B. Ask them if they've noticed any suspicious activity. Once you've gotten a lead, cross-reference their testimony with ship records over at Aegis. When you're done, report back to me with your findings. Remember that job you did for Agent Plato? I finally had a reason to call in that favor he owes us. I asked him to pull the names and cargo of every potential smuggling ship that docked in the last month. He said he'll have a slate ready for you to examine. There should be a few working on the landing pads. If they don't know anything, move on to another. Right now, we don't have any good leads. But if anyone's seen anything, it will give us something to go on. See you later.
Your safety is
Something I can do for you? Can't say I have. When you work a job like this, you see so many ships. They all sort of blend together. Look, I'm just a port worker. My whole life would fit into one of these boxes. I've got nothing to hide. Now, if you don't mind, I got work to do. And if you do mind, tough.
Can I help you? It's about time. I've been telling my supervisor about that cargo ship for ages. I'm beginning to think he was ignoring me. That's the problem. I don't really look at the ship names when I work, just the ID number granted for clearance. I think it was UC576B. I do know it's a cargo class transport. That helps. It's the way the crew handled the cargo. They were being way too delicate. The manifest said they were carrying potatoes, spuds. I don't know what was in those crates, but it certainly wasn't that. Gotta go.
As you enter the city.
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss the details of my division's work. The fewer people there are thinking about Aegis on a daily basis, the easier my job is. That I do, Captain. Sergeant Yumi said you'd be coming to pick it up. You've got good timing, too. I actually have a friend on a classified star station who sent me this list of potential smugglers the other day. Here you are. Given I owe you for the last job, I hope it serves some use. That's right. Classified station, top secret projects, etc., etc. And from what my intelligence tells me, you've already been on board that station, Captain. So you don't need me to fill in the details. Yep, every ship on that list has a route that goes through New Atlantis. Not surprising, given we're the biggest port in town. And if they're smuggling stuff there, you can bet your ass they're smuggling stuff here. We'll be seeing you.
How's the investigation going? Found those smugglers yet? Is that right? Do you know the name by any chance? Captain Enjai's ship. I think you might have hit the mark here. You had reports of their crew being less than professional on several occasions. Still, being a little rough around the edges isn't exactly a crime. Are you sure it's the right ship? Then the next step is searching their cargo for any smuggled contraband. And, as luck would have it, I believe the Anansi has already arrived at landing pad B. I'll make the call to have the ship detained until further notice. Your job is to board the ship, locate any illicit goods, and return them here. And if any of the crew puts up a fight, I trust you know what to do. Good luck.
After action report, Guard Bryant reporting. We got a tip from an inmate about some equipment being stolen from one of the supply rooms. We did a thorough sweep of the place and came up with 2 mining lasers and several power packs missing. After the alarm was raised, all of the inmates' cells were searched, but we turned up empty-handed. I have no idea how the inmates were able to get into that storage room and hide that gear without being picked up on camera. I'm starting to suspect that the inmates could be receiving help from some of the staff of this facility.
Bye.
You're barking up the wrong tree. Just get off the ship and tell your boss this ship's clean.
You don't need to be here. Make it easy on yourself.
Don't make this harder than it has to be.
Looking for something? What now? What?
You with UC Security? My suggestion? You turn around and pretend you saw nothing.
Well, it looks like you got me, officer. I guess this means my potato shipping days are numbered. But maybe you'd be willing to give a first-time offender a slap on the carpal bone. I don't suppose you're interested in a deal? It's simple. I give you a large sum of creds. You turn around and tell your sergeant the ship was clean. That's unfortunate, Captain. Now I'm going to have to smuggle your body off this ship. You need to leave now. You won't get away. Hear me? Thought you could hide.
scanned as you enter the city.
How's the investigation going? No major hit. Good work. Did you find anything? Very well done, Captain. Time and time again, you come through for us. Initially, I felt bad for having someone of your rank doing security, but frankly, you're worse than guilt. In any case, I'll have a team move the ship off the landing pad and do a full sweep. Make sure there's no other surprises on board. Oh, and before I forget, your payment. It's well deserved.
Please have a pleasant day.
Do you have a new set of orders for me today?
Gave up my room in the lodge so Andreja had a place to call her own. Everyone needs space to let their thoughts run solo. Keep coming back to one thing. Both of these Starborn, they're people you know. Only they're not the people you know. Say and do things the folks you know would never. Doesn't bode well for anyone stepping into the Unity. Or through it, or however it works. You consider what it might do to you? Experience shapes the person, as much as the other way. And the Unity sounds like an experience with an endless depth, with no hope to fathom. I doubt any declaration of intent will carry fate's hand there. Let's deal. The eye's showing signs over another one of those big anomalies. Here, catch a smile.
I am relieved by your ability to locate the lodge. As I previously stated, it is difficult to miss. Human understanding of physics has until now shown no indication that such a thing is possible. And yet, we have now encountered two individuals physiologically identical to unique humans we already know, possessing knowledge and technology that it seems improbable for them to otherwise have. It is indeed possible that they are telling the truth, that this Unity does exist. More data is required. That would at least verify the assertion that the artifacts are necessary to reach the Unity. Yes. Conversational protocols engaged. I am awaiting your query. Let me know if I have been idle here for a long time. I believe I will go wherever I am needed.
Hello.
Ready to tackle whatever the Starfield throws at us. So we know the answer. Who are the Starborn? Well, we are. We're some cracked mirror version of ourselves. The whole thing seems unreal. Yeah. Who's keeping track? You know, yeah, +1 for Team Sam. I was hoping the Starborn were somehow so advanced that their concerns were cosmic, significant. Instead, they're fighting over goddamn toys like we've been doing since caveman times. It's just a stupid game to them. And all our deaths and suffering, not relevant. And they seem to be just as messed up as the rest of us. So the Unity is a gateway. A gateway to countless possibilities. And you have a chance to go through it. Imagine. I'd be lying if it doesn't sound like the adventure of a lifetime. I don't know if you're taking anyone with you, but if you take me, I got no idea if I'd go through or not. If it weren't for Cora, I'd jump on it in a heartbeat. Cora would probably shove both of us out of the way and dive in first. Born explorer, that girl. Exactly, right? I know it's your decision who to work with, but you gotta remember that the Hunter murdered our friend. Sure, the emissary may be a version of Sarah, so Sarah is still alive. Sort of. But that doesn't make what the Hunter did right. Not by a long shot. If the Starborn are party crashers from different universes, I'd side with the one that's not willing to murder innocents to win. It was a decent argument, I guess. Look, I don't know, I'm a simple man. I just want justice for our friend. My head is still spinning. Maybe after a few nights' sleep, it'll be clearer. Take care.
Hello, Captain. This is amazing. The Unity, the multiverse. This is everything and more, literally. No kidding. Think of the dissertations. Boundless topics, no bounds. Except the books, they're bound. This explains so much, though. They're disorganized, petty, weird, and also deeply fascinating at the same time. Because they are just people. We never rule that out, but it feels so good to know we weren't fighting against robot alien ghost gods or something. No, not even slightly. They're people who obtain power in some unfair way, and some of them have used that power to cause suffering, and others just didn't want to share. But that's what regular people do every day of the year. True. We need to approach this critically and carefully. We can't just jump in. Or, I mean, we could, I guess. But it all comes back to this. We don't know what will happen if you enter the Unity. You might lose yourself or become a two-headed space shark. There are too many variables. That's a valid concern. But at the same time, none of us would be here if we weren't willing to take those risks. Of course, at the end of the day, it's your choice. But I will say this. Our entire purpose in Constellation is to explore. Why would we stop now? I'm with you. I'm not gonna hold you back. But if you know, become evil or whatever, I'm also not gonna have your back. Anytime. The possibility of turning evil aside, I appreciate you taking the lead on this. You're guiding Constellation to new frontiers, new discoveries, and we should all follow your example. On that note, there's something else I'd like to discuss with you, if you have time. It's not on the scale of entering the Unity, but it is tangentially related. Thanks. This has been swirling in my brain goo for a while now. So, I've been pondering over what's happened and what it all means. And I've got a favor to ask. A teensy-weensy favor. About the size of a plank length, really. I think it's time I joined you in the physics-bending powers business. See if one of those temples works for more than just you. What, you think you're the only one who can walk around in a cape and tights? Granted, it's just a theory, but I venture anyone who experiences visions from touching an artifact is now connected to them. You got a vision, I got a vision. You got a power, ergo. Marvelous. I'm glad you're as gung-ho about this as I am. As it so happens, I've already talked to Vladimir. Seems our eye in the sky is back up and running. He sent me the coordinates for the temple already. We just have to visit. Let's stow our stuff fast and get out of here. I'm anxious to see the stars again.
regard. I attempted an informal greeting, but I am dissatisfied with the results.
See, this is why I signed up with Constellation. This moment right here. So, really push the boundaries of humanity, This is you Barrett. know?
Turning your call.
What in the... Who in the... No matter what, these temples are always impressive to me. Whoa. He's Barrett. I'm Barrett. Hello there. I'm Barrett. Not your Barrett. Sorry. You've got to be joking. Nope. Okay. Skipping the initial shock of it all. Agreed. Not worth it. Forming a hypothesis. Molecular binary schism? Temporal twinning? Group hallucination? Don't forget the fluctuations in the energy patterns, which align almost deterministically. Harmonized vibrations distorting some mechanical barrier between neighboring universes? Impossible to know with such a minute subset of readings. We need more data. Obviously. I'll be Barrett Prime. Amundsen is fine. Usually the barrier between us is too thick to communicate much anyway. Amundsen? Now I know you're not me. Hey, one of us has to keep it classy. Why stop at 2? It won't work. The energy required increases exponentially per anomaly. I'm already exhausted. In a way that's hard to describe. Not physically or mentally, but something else. Sorry, friend. You'll feel right as rain when I dissipate. Whoa there. Sustaining this connection requires a lot of concentration. Is this permanent? You will eventually monitor the energy fluctuations and agree. But no, this is unusual. I could study this forever. Irvin told me to just enjoy it and collect data on the side for later. And I'm glad I did. Irvin? He's with you. He's... okay? By the tone of your voice, I'm gathering some things in our lives might be a bit different. Is he happy? Yes, he is. Our daughter pilots the ship after Vasco was destroyed. But otherwise, we've survived the war well. I have so many questions. I wonder how many paths I've taken. We've taken. How many variations. How many ended with heartache and how many with joy? I think about that all the time. Wait. What's that noise? Starborn ship. What happens for any of us? I don't think it works that way, though. Maybe I'm just a construct or a memory. I don't know. But I don't feel pain. Good to know. We can handle this. On it. Hey, stranger. Let's chat sometime, okay? We can handle this. Well, that ought to do it. I can't hold on to you. I'm struggling, being pulled through the barrier. This is probably it, friends. Amundsen? Cherish every moment with them.
I already do, my friend. I promise.
So look, for the record, I am the same Barrett that came here with you. For sure. I think. Is the ship my secret lair then? I guess. I would have preferred something with more seating, and maybe a fireplace. Something cozy. Oh well. Hey, at least I didn't pull an army of me's out of thin air, right? Imagine that. Besides, it is a bit exhausting to sustain just one extra me. Anyway, it's a relief, you know. I have this ability, this power, and I'm still just me. Just regular Barrett. And I already feel like it's subsiding. I no longer feel like I'm in a huge crowd. Yes, though it takes a lot of concentration. If I do it a lot, I bet I'd give myself a headache. From myself. I'm my own migraine. I thought so too. Other me, other Barrett, seemed like he was able to handle himself well in that fight. Anyway, we'll see. If the other me gets in the way, I can just release him or stop using the power entirely. For now, I just need to use this power a bit and digest what all has happened. I lost my Irvin. I know that. I wish beyond anything that he appeared in that temple instead of me. But it helps to know there's an Irvin out there somewhere living a life full of love with someone like me. I can move forward with that thought in my heart. Sure, but give me some time. I want to use it a bit more. See what its limits are. I just need some time with it. That's pretty exhausting, really. So I might only do it when I feel like we could use backup. For now, anyway. Hey, so I'm really enjoying our time together. Thought you should know. It's been a long time since I worked with someone so closely. I didn't realize how much I missed it. And you haven't stopped me from looking into this stuff with Irvin either. So, thank you. See, that's what makes you a good captain in my book. You're supportive. On that note, I do have some news about Irvin's case. So, I wanted to let you know that I heard back from my contact, and I think you'll want to hear this. They sent me a copy of some public records. It's interesting. There was a claim filed against Irvin accusing him of damaging their investments. Looks like Irvin didn't even enter a plea. Well, if it was Irvin, I do want to understand that, because I just can't believe it. Anyway, this mining corporation, Hephaestus, sued Irvin, claiming he irreparably damaged their mine. They said he killed the apex predators in the area around the mine, which led to herd creatures overeating the grasses. That caused the soils to release too many gases too fast, which cost Hephaestus a ton of money. They claim the creature he killed was a critical hive species that caused a cascade effect when they were killed off. Irvin killed the equivalent of a queen bee, and the whole hive collapsed, basically. The explanation is sound, but why would Irvin do that? He wouldn't. So anyway, according to the court documents, there was a witness for the defense, who was a no-show too. Then Hephaestus won by default. They tried to take his apartment, but because it's in my name too, they couldn't. They withdrew their testimony the morning of the trial. Said they had a sincere change of heart. Yes, they plan to stay in the same system for a while. I didn't know he bought it. Must have been a better deal than renting for the time he was there. That doesn't mean we can't do anything about it. And if nothing else, I just want to know more about what happened to Irvin. So here's what I was thinking. I can persuade my contact to keep digging a little bit more. I don't want to press our luck, so I'll just ask them to follow up on one thing. Should I tell them to investigate the company more, or look into the witness instead? I just want to know why they picked Irvin. Why did they set him up? I wonder what his real reason was for retracting his testimony. Did he report anything to security? For that much money? They'll do it. You know, this investigation is time-consuming, but it's also pretty cathartic. And who knows? Maybe if we solve this case, it'll mean a better future for Gagarin. But that's thinking too far ahead. Anyway, Captain, thanks for checking in with me. Galaxy than most folks, but that will always be impressive. have something for you.
Communications system critical. Hail terminated. Communications system critical. Hail terminated.
Hello, Captain. Captain, do you require my assistance? We must defeat them.
Yeah, more of me. Okay.
Well, they don't need it now.
You will suffer!
I believe the enemy is nearby.
and sisters, now is the time. We must spread the word of the Great Serpent across the settled systems. We must speak, and if the unbelievers refuse to listen, then they will be purged. We must go to their places, where they are, where they were, where they will be. We must pave the galaxy with scales, and all who stand before us will fall.
if we leave a few things here and make a second trip? May as well, right? Good to be back. Enjoy. Souvenirs are fun to pick up, but better to give. Enjoy. Anyway, I think you might have a use for it. It's not a problem. If I see anything on our next expedition to a planet, then I'll hang on to it for you.
Got anything to offload?
Hard to believe this place is still intact. The military is nothing.
I hope we have what you need.
Helps a whole herd of terramorphs touch down undetected.
checklist while we scan for contraband. Alright, we're done. You're cleared to land at New Atlantis.
Good to see you again. Quite the lab, huh? The UC spares no expense. Back in the lab. Quiet, safe, secure. Just how I like it. Well, will you look at that? Huh. And it seems to be in working condition. So you see, even when tragedy strikes, there's people like you to help pick up the pieces. It makes me feel good about where we're going as a species. Well, I hope so. And with all the resources we have here, I have no excuse not to. Here, I know credits are a lazy gift, but as a scientist, I think it's better to be practical. Thanks again.